Hi, I'm Van, the funeral man. Thanks for joining me today. Hey, somebody asked if I would consider doing a video on funeral etiquette. By etiquette, I mean the do's and especially the don'ts of attending a funeral service. Now, I want to make a distinction right off the bat. There's going to the visitation. That's one thing. It's less formal, but going to the funeral service, far more serious, far more formal. Now, I've been officiating funerals for a long time, well over 1,800 and counting, and believe me, I have seen a lot of funeral don'ts. And so what I'd like for you to do right now is think about some of the funeral don'ts you've seen, some of the crazy things you've seen at a funeral. Put them in the comments below. I'd love to read them. So here we go. No certain order. We're going to start now. Okay, the first one is very simple. Be real quick on this. If the funeral starts, let's say the funeral service starts at 10 a.m., do get there on time. Don't be late. Don't come dragging in like 5 or 10 minutes after. It's a distraction. You got to remember there's a grieving family there and you want to be respectful. Now, if you bring your cell phone into the service, and I know that's probably what you're going to do, but if you do, make sure you silence your phone. But don't do this. I'm at a funeral. I can't talk right now. As unbelievable as that may seem, I have seen this happen over and over and over. And what I've also noticed is the grieving family doesn't appreciate it. They turn around and look at you in utter disbelief. So be sure to put your phone on silence. Now, oftentimes, before the funeral begins, people are talking, mingling around, that sort of thing. How can you know when the service is actually beginning? Well, typically a good sign is when the music begins. Now, when the music starts, make sure you take your seat and stop talking. I have seen dozens and dozens of times people talk through all the songs that the family has picked. They talk about, hey, I went to school with her and we did this and we did that. Stop talking. The family wants you to stop talking and sit down. When you attend the funeral service, be sure to leave your refreshments outside. Don't do something like this. Imagine walking by the casket of somebody's grandma and grandpa and you got a Mountain Dew bottle in your back pocket. It can only get worse if you are the pallbearer, and I've seen this 100 times. Don't do that. Actually, there is another look that's even worse. Sorry for your loss. Now let me say a little bit about appropriate dress. Now, ladies, I want to talk to you first. Do dress modestly, and you can talk to somebody about what they mean by that or what I mean by that. But here's the don't dress like Tate McRae when you go to a funeral. Actually, it is one day that it's not all about you. Now guys, let me say something to you. You've heard the song, Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Well, I'd say this, Daddies, don't let your sons grow up to dress like a slob at a funeral, especially if you're going to be a pallbearer. Being a pallbearer is really a great honor. So you need to dress appropriately for that. I was 15 years old when my mother died, and my dad, he went out immediately and bought me a suit. And he told me, he said, son, you need to always have a suit in the event you attend a funeral. Now, I hear some of you saying, does it have to be a suit? No. But what is the big deal? Well, the big deal is when you attend a funeral, you are going to a situation where a family has lost a loved one. They've lost a foundational person in their life, and they love them and they think highly of them, and you should show respect at that occasion. When I think about appropriate dress, I always think about a story in the Old Testament book of Genesis about Joseph when he was in prison. The scripture said in Genesis 41, so Pharaoh sent for Joseph, and he was quickly brought from the dungeon. When he had shaved and changed his clothes, he came before the Pharaoh. So again, guys, I'm not saying you have to wear a suit, but dress appropriately. Appropriately means what's suitable or proper for the circumstances that you're in. All right, one final don't. Often a church or friends or a business will provide food for the family on a funeral occasion. So if that happens and you visit, don't just assume that the food's for you and go up and help yourself. It's really for the family. If they do say, hey, why don't you sit down and have a sandwich with me? That's fine, do that. Just don't fill your plate up so much that it sprains your wrist. All right, I hope some of these don'ts help you a lot. And hey, I'd like to hear from you. What are some of the crazy, inappropriate things you've seen at a funeral? Put them in the comment section. I'd love to read them. If you would, consider subscribing, liking, sharing. And in the meantime, I'm Van the Funeral Man, living with hope in life and in death.